Hi everybody, here's Wednesday's maths lesson. Hope that you're all okay. On screen you can see today's starter task. So today the starter task is all about Aunt Sophie. So Aunt Sophie has 3p and 8p stamps only. It will cost 73p to post a parcel. How many of each type of stamp should you put on the parcel? Pause the video, have a go, maybe see how many solutions you can find. Right, I'm going to reveal one solution that I found. I'd like you to share on Teams if you agree with me, or if you've also got other methods of different versions of how to put the stamps on the parcel. So I decided to start with the largest stamp, so I wanted to do it the quickest way possible. So I thought, well, you can have 8 lots of 8p stamps, which would be 64p. Okay, so that's the maximum 8p stamps. Well, actually, I could have gone up, but then I wouldn't be able to make the 1p, so I decided to stop at 64p. Then I did 73, take away 64, which is 9. I thought, oh, brilliant, 9's a multiple of 3. So then I chose to get 3p stamps, which is 9p, and then when you add 64 and 9 together, you get 73. So my answer is 8 8p stamps and 3 3p stamps. Let me know if you find any other solutions. Now, earlier in the week, you had a look at converting fractions to percentages and converting percentages to fractions. Now, on screen, you can see 2 questions. These are 2 of the sort of trickier types of questions, but they're quite easy if you remember how to do it. I'm just wondering, for an extra starter, if you're able to convert these fractions to percentages. And the only clue I'm going to give you is that you need to remember the key number that goes with the percent sign. Pause the video, see if you can remember. Don't worry if you can't, because I'm going to explain how to do it on the next page. Right, I'm now going to go through how to do this, so if you've forgotten, then it'll be a good reminder, and if you've had a go, you can see if you managed to do it. So the key number when we're talking about percentages is 100, because there are 100 parts in every whole. So I converted the fractions to have a denominator of 100. So for 8/50ths, I doubled. I think I managed to do that successfully today. So I know that 8/50ths is equal to 1600ths, so the percent would be 16%. And then I know that 4 lots of 25 make 100, so I did 16 multiplied by 4, and I got 64. So I got 64% for the second question. Let me know if you managed to do that, because it's quite tricky until you've really got the skill. Now, yesterday you were starting to have a go at percentage ratio tables, and some of the work that I saw on Teams was brilliant. I was really pleased. So if you remember that to find 50% of a number, you halve it. To find 10% of a number, you divide by 10. And to find 100% of a number, to find 1% of a number, you divide by 100. Okay, and we're going to use that method today to do a little bit more calculating. So on screen, I have told you that 100% is 220. So that's the whole. I would like you to complete this ratio table on your piece of paper. So start off with the ones that we were doing yesterday. So find 10%, find 50%, find 1%. Now I've colour coded it, because once you've found those 3 percentages, I'm wondering if you can go back and do the other ones. So to help you, I've colour coded, as I've just said. So 5% is linked to 10%. So how will 10% help you to work out what 5% is? I wonder if you can work that out. How will 50% help you to get 25%? Okay, and so on. Pause the video and have a go. Don't worry if you get stuck, because it's the first question. I'm going to explain it, and then hopefully you'll be able to complete the next one on your own. Pause the video and have a go. Right, so First of all, I'm going to reveal the answers to the three key percentages. So 10% is 22. I just divided by 10. So all the digits moved one place to the right. 50% I just divided by 2, I halved it, so I got 110. And then 1% I divided by 100, so I moved the digits 2 places to the right, and I got 2.2. So if you didn't get these three correct, then you might want to pause the video and check your other three answers, because they'll be wrong probably if you got those three wrong. I'm now going to move on. So to get 5%, I just halved 10%, because I know that 5 is half of 10. So 5% is 11. 25% is half of 50%. So I just halved 50%, I got 55. And to get 2%, I just doubled 1%, because 1 times 2 is 2. So here are my answers. I wonder how well you did. We're going to have another go at another question now, which just follows the same pattern. Okay, I'd like you to pause the video, and I'd like you to see if you can complete this ratio table. So you're looking at the same key percentages. See if you can do it. Have a go. Right, I'm now going to reveal the first three answers, so you can check if you got those right. So 10% I divided by 10, I got 86. 50% I just halved it, I got 430. And 1% I divided by 100, and I got 8.6. So mark those three answers first, and like before, if you've made a mistake, don't worry, but you may want to pause the video and check your other three answers. Right, I'm now going to reveal. So to get my 5%, I halved the 10%, so I got 43. I halved 50%, I got 215. And then I doubled the 1% to get 2%. And make sure you're doing some workings. If you're struggling to double decimals in your head, then just do some jottings at the side, okay? I wonder how you're getting on. Now, the ratio table can be used to answer other types of questions. Okay, and to answer these questions, there are sort of multiple ways to do it. There's no right or wrong answer as such, because there are many different methods. For example, you could find 75% of a number by timesing the 1% by 75. It might not be the most efficient way. You're going to need to work that out. So I'm wondering if you can use the ratio table of one of the questions that we've done previously to work out what 75% of 860 is, what 30% is, what 55% is. So if you're not sure what I'm talking, if you don't understand, if you look at 75%, okay, work out which of the key facts from the ratio table, which of those percentages can be added together to get 75. Okay, I chose 50 and 25. So to work out the answer to 75% of 860, you will just need to add 430 and 215 together. Okay, when it says 30%, I can see one of these numbers I would just multiply by 3. So that means I would multiply one of these numbers by 3. Remember to do workings, okay? You don't have to do everything in your head, use your methods, otherwise you might make a mistake that you might not have done necessarily if you've done your workings. Pause the video and see how you get on. Right, I'm going to reveal the answers. Right, so I got 645. For 30%, I just did 3 lots of 10%. So I did 86 multiplied by 3. I got 258. For 55%, I added the 50% and the 5% together. So I got 473. Then for 28%, I did the 25%, add the 2%, add the 1%. I wonder if you did it that way, or did you have a different way? Maybe you took away 2% from the 30% answer. That may have been quicker for you. Now notice how I did my workings at the side. Remember, when you add decimals, make sure the decimal points line up. It's the same as column addition or subtraction, it's just got a decimal point there, so just be careful. make sure all the columns are in the right places. And then for 0.5%, I just halve the 1% because I know that half of 1 is 0.5. Let me know how you got on afterwards. See if you can finish these 3 questions. So this is one of the ratio tables from earlier. Can you work out these 3 answers? Pause the video and have a go. Right, I'm now going to reveal how I did them. So for 40%, I just did 4 lots of 10% because I thought that was easier for me. So I got the answer 88. You could have done like 50% take away 10%. 75%, I added the 2 together, so I got 165. And for 9%, I chose to do 10% take away 1%, so I got 19.8. Let me know how you got on afterwards. Okay, you've got one more to practice, and then tomorrow we're going to have a look at some word problems which involve percentages, and we're going to have a look at some sort of trickier reasoning problems to see if you can link this to sort of trickier problems. But remember, these ratio tables are great, but you don't always have to use this method, okay? But I think this method's great. So pause the video, see if you can work out the answers to these questions. But obviously before you do these questions, you're going to need to fill in the ratio table. So you've got to do the whole process yourself now. So pause the video, do the ratio table first, and then work out the answers to your questions. Have a go. Okay, so let's reveal the answers. So I've filled in my ratio table. You can let me know if you agree, or let me know if I've made a mistake anywhere. And then I use my ratio table to work out the answers to these questions. Okay, I'm not going to read them all out. You can read and mark yourself. But it's really important that you don't rush the ratio table apart, because obviously if you make a mistake here, then your answer for down here is incorrect. So always take your time and be efficient. And always remember to do working. So if you can't do 49 multiplied by 3 in your head, then do some jottings at the side. Okay? I wouldn't expect you to do this string of calculations in your head. You'd need to do some workings. Now, well done for taking part. I hope you enjoyed today's session. And as I said, tomorrow we'll move on by doing some more reasoning and problem solving, still linking to percentages. Thanks for joining in. Remember to share your work.